Hey guys, what's up? Today I come to you with my good review of Princess Stride Alternative, and this is episode 8. We are now finally starting the EOS or End of Summer Trial Tour tournament. And this week's episode, our Honan High School Stride Club is traveling to Sapporo Dome, Japan. So that's where they're going to be participating in the final tournament, and before they get into the tournament, there is a trial race to pit each school against each other to see how well they do against one another before the actual tournament, the final tournament begins. So we have also this new school who was introduced and that our school had faced against, and that's their name is going by Kakuen High School. Now it was kind of messed up when they explained that school because they had a strike club, and then all the members they were basically replaced save for the captain that was part of the old strike club of that school, and they were replaced with new members, two being twins who used to be part of a circus, so that's crazy. Then they have a first year who is the relationer who, when they were traveling on the plane to get to their destination to do their start their trial race, he and Sakurai were talking, and they were conversing and having a good time on the airplane, and he's the relationer. And we finally get to see Riku's brother, Tomei, and he's part of that school. So he came back from America, and now he is attending Kyakuen High School, and he is part of the strike club nonetheless. So we got to see him racing against Kyosuke in this race. We also find out that Sakurai or Nana, she um she lost her mother at a young age. So we get a little background on her in this week's episode, and we found out that her father is basically called the king of stride. So you can kind of guess that he's the one who started up the whole thing about stride, the whole concept of stride and what it is as to today and how competitive it is. And he's the coach at Tomei's school. He's the coach of the strike club that Tomei is participating in. And it's like it bothers both Sakurai and Riku, because you see Riku, he's always felt this inferiority towards his brother, and the fact that he saw his brother once again after he came back from America back to Japan, he felt that distance, that gap between them, because in this race Honan got blew out the water. It's like, okay, the way they were running, right? You would have thought, okay, we're catching up to this school. And just when we're catching up, okay, they accelerate. They know when we're gonna catch up. They pinpoint the relation, or what he does is that, like, every time he sees you going left, he said go left, go right. So he's like, trying to cut you off. And the minute that you're at least this close, a certain distance towards one of their runners, they just burst off and just keep running. And it was such a wide gap by the end of the match. It was such a wide gap during their times that Honan got blew out the waters. Okay. And the thing is, they were doing it deliberately. But because they're a new team, they're not the old Kyakin Stride Club. They're a brand new team of set of new runners. Okay, they had to try to find a way of how to better fit their techniques and how to bring the whole team together. And this is the way to do it. They allow you to catch up. They deliberately allow you to catch up just so that they can move past you at a incredible fast speed. And poor Honan is in despair. We haven't seen them like this since they faced Saisei Academy back in episode 1 or 2. Okay, so this is just a trial, but this isn't the final. But you can already see that there's no way they can beat this school because this school is too good. And the fact that Tomei, who has just recently come back, and remember he used to be on Honan Strike Club. He used to be there, but now he's on another team, and he's in leagues and bounds up ahead of Riku. Riku has this conscience where it's like he'll never be able to catch up with his brother. At one point, they were really close, but because he always sees his brother just keeps going and going, and he never takes time to look back, Riku had enough, and that's why he was the reason. Tomei was the reason why Riku quitted Stride Club in the first place. He was the reason why Riku stopped running, and now he found his reason again. But now we don't know for too sure because of his brother's influence on him and his whole purpose of running. So this week's episode was kind of devastating for Honan. They lost terribly. not like they did with Saisei, but they lost by a large margin against this school. So we're gonna have to see how they're gonna be able to face up to them when it comes to the final tournament, and also possibly them facing Saisei as well. And will Riku be able to overcome the gap, that gap between him and his brother, and realign their relationship and be able to finally surpass him, not feel like he always has to be in his shadow? And will Sakurai be able to question her father and ask him, why you decide to he came back, but why didn't you tell me what your job was? Because we also got a flashback with Sakurai when she was younger. She participated in stride as a child. Like, they had their races and she came in first place, and then her father left her to do some business overseas for several of years, and he came back. So we're gonna see like two relationships try to realign, hopefully by the end of the series. So that's it for this week's episode of Prince of Stride Alternative. Do tell me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Also, you can check me out on Twitter and Tumblr. The Facebook page is in the description box, so you can click on that link. And I'm Kimmy Chan of Anime Legends Podcast, and I will see you guys later. Bye!